you suggest that there is no separation between us and Source, or God, which is probably the word I would use. So does this make us then all God?
Yes.
Not a shard of the divine, not a light or a spark, but fully God.
Fully God in the sense that we are the same stuff, the same energy, the same innate characteristics. I guess a human way of making a distinction would be we have a lower wattage. See, we're just one train of thought in Source's mind when there are 80 bazillion, gazillion trains.
You quote P. Raymond Stewart, a spiritual teacher you're fond of, as saying, every person in every form is but an idea in the mind of God. Does this mean we don't really exist in human form, that all of this is an illusion, as you alluded to a few seconds ago?
We exist. We are not humans. Humans
okay,
are...
explain that.
We are, the way I understand it and can put it into human terminology is, we, when I say we, I mean the soul part of what we call a human being, is Source's actual self-awareness.
I follow that.
So we exist to the same degree the Source is self-aware. Humans and what we perceive as our physical universe is a manifestation. It's Source can turn its attention and intention to creating anything it wants. And that thing exists for so long as Source wants it to exist. But it's still a manifestation. It's not as real as Source's self-awareness or Source itself.
And even though this life is an illusion, as you've said, you still talk about Source's curiosity as desiring experience of this illusion.
Yes.
That's just an illusion. It's an
but
issue
it feels
that
real.
It's an issue that Eastern spirituality talks about, the Course in Miracles, the great swamis of India talk about. It's not too well understood in the West because it's difficult.
I think we might be doing ourselves a disservice by using the word illusion.
Okay.
Because this manifested universe is very real
So what
to
are
the characters
okay.
inhabiting it.
It's a play, it's an act?
Only from the higher levels of perspective.
Okay.
From the perspective that we have while we're here, it is absolute reality. It's the only reality we will know in this form.
That's helpful.
But as you leave this form and your vibration or your energy or your, whatever rises as you evolve closer or move closer to the Source, the less real this life appears. And the closest analogy I can come up with is dreaming. While you're asleep and dreaming, it seems very real. You have a nightmare and you react very violently to it. I mean, it seems like you are definitely being chased by a tiger or being thrown off an airplane. It's very real. When you wake up, even though you may have a little bit of the after effect of that emotion, you know the dream wasn't real. It's the exact same phenomenon. When we leave human life and go into our eternal life, we look back at human life. It was real while we were there, but now that we're not, it's no longer real.
Which leads me, the way you just described it so well, to my last question on this topic. You say that from the light being's perspective, human existence is an illusion of our own creation. Both disappear when the illusion is broken, such as coming out of the nightmare dream. Can we break this illusion at will?
While we're in human form?
It sounds like you have.
Oh no, I cheated, I died. All illusions were broken for me.
Okay, but now that you're back and you've learned this and this information's been downloaded to you, tomorrow morning if you choose not to get in a car and drive in the countryside of Columbus, but to break the illusion, can you do that?
I can't, no.
You can't do that?
No.
In other words...
I'm pretty human in this body.
Describe the best way you can how all of this, the world around us, is that dream you were talking about. It's a very complex dream. I mean, there's 6 billion elements of the dream just called human beings in my dream, let alone all the cats and dogs and trees and species. We're capable of an illusion so profound?
Well, not individually, but collectively, yes. The Source is manifesting this, and all of those who participate in it co-create with the Source. But again, I don't know that it really benefits anyone to to think about this life as an illusion. I mean, we're here for a purpose, to experience this. And so when we keep telling ourselves, well, it's not real, it's an illusion, we're taking away from the very thing we chose to experience. We want to be humans. We want to sense and feel and hear and see and live as a human lives.
Again, that's very helpful, because for those people who study A Course in Miracles or Eastern spirituality, you can get caught up prematurely in trying to dismiss everything because, oh, it's just the illusion.
Yeah, and the way I look at that is, you'll have that perspective when you leave this life. You know, you have it for eons, for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
While you're in a human body,
enjoy
it. Yeah, enjoy the illusion, enjoy the perception, and just go with it.
You say one aspect of light beings are souls. Again, there's source, there's light beings, there's souls, and then there's humans.
Well, those are all artificial,
okay.
Distinctions that I make, but yes.
That lower part of this energy to light beings are souls that lower part of their energy to the level they combine with humans. Do the souls have a beginning, or like source, have they always been? I think of my soul as having a beginning. It may live forever, but it really sounds like it didn't have a beginning if it's part of source.
That's not something I got a handle on, but my own personal history was that I came out of source and I'm going back in. I mean, it's a matter of focus or attention. Source can turn its attention to anything and everything, and even though you're not concentrating on the fact that you, in 5th grade, ate an eraser for a lunch with your peanut butter sandwich, that thought's still in you somewhere. Mm-hmm. It's like that with Source. Every one of us exists always and for all time when Source has thought of us. But there was an initial thought. So there was a beginning. I don't believe there's an end, because once thought, you can't unthink somebody.
Mm-hmm. It's there somewhere.
Yeah, that's the best of my understanding of how it works.
You say it is our human nature to return to source, regardless of what we do, meaning that there is no hell or no judgment. We're all going to get there. No right, no wrong. We all return to God because we are already God.
Right.
So are you really saying that any sentient being should be fearless because there's no thing to fear? There's no wrath of God or source or judgment or hell?
There is no judgment. There is no punishment. There is no wrath of God, no hell, no downside to any of our behaviors. However, just like while we're in a human being, everything we experience feels and seems and is real. When you have your life review after you leave this life, and you're going through the process of basically upgrading your human perspective to divine perspective, in your life review, you will feel everything you ever did to another person. You will remember every moment of this human life, and everything you ever said or did or experienced, you will relive.
So you live it twice.
If you have been, and to the same degree that the other person did. So if you murder somebody, you will feel that murder and suffer the consequences that that person who died went through.
So that's a pretty powerful incentive.
I can't think of a more just or fitting consequence.
Did you have?
But it is temporary.
Did you have a full life review?
Not, well, yes and no. I had one during my afterlife experience, but I didn't pay any attention to it because I was so enthralled with getting back all my memories. Mm-hmm. So while I was vaguely aware, and so you can multitask like crazy, in the afterlife. So I was vaguely aware of my light being friends living my life. I had turned my focus somewhere else. I had another life review 3 years later after my afterlife experience, in which I saw every single second of Nancy's life from beginning to end. So I saw her future. By that I mean my body's future. And during that I did experience everything I'd ever done. I mean, the little nitpicky tiny things.
You felt it to the full degree of the pain you inflicted in another person as they felt it.
Yes.
Assuming.
And all the emotional consequences, yes.